Thank you very much. If only I got so much applause when I actually gave a lecture to my students. My name is James Smith. I'm the Vice Principal International. I would like to welcome you all to the University of Edinburgh and welcome those of you who have come from further away or are watching online to Scotland. This is simultaneously, for me, a very easy and difficult introduction. How does one introduce somebody who is so well known to so many people? What can I possibly say? On the other hand, there is so much one could say, but I'll get to that in a moment. The university has a very long and deep connection with India. Our first Indian student graduated in 1876, and since then our Indian student population has grown somewhat. I suspect several hundred of you are actually sitting in the audience in front of me, which suggests lecture theatres will be quite quiet this afternoon. We're very proud of our Centre of South Asian Studies, one of the leading UK centres dedicated to the study of the subcontinent. As well as coordinating research and offering courses, the centre acts as a cultural hub in Scotland. Film showings are an important part of this. Last night they screened, and I do apologise for my pronunciation, Kuch Kuch Hotta Hey. Thank you. I can do more, but let's just move on. Of course, that was part of this. That was part of the plan. We're also very proud of our research and our teaching partnerships in India. And in 2010, we launched our Indian Liaison Office in Mumbai to support and sustain these relationships. And I have my colleagues from that office sitting here. There are countless examples of collaborative, innovative partnerships that span our research in India, from stem cells to Sanskrit, from animal health to antimicrobial resistance, and from Wi-Fi to educational leadership. India has long been, is, and will continue to grow as one of our most important partner countries, and the focus of the University of Edinburgh's engagement with India will continue to be creativity through collaboration. There's similarly a long and strong connection between Scotland and India, but given today's guest, and I know you don't really want to listen to me, but that's another story, I will restrict myself to talking only about set jetting, where fans visit locations having seen them in their favourite movies. Scotland's castles, landscapes and whiskey are part of this allure, but apparently and surprisingly, so too is the weather. My colleagues from Mumbai assure me that it is, and I quote, amazing, and I'm frankly amazed. Maybe they're just jet-lagged. This year, Scotland was voted the world's best cinematic destination in a poll run by USA Today. Producers of Bollywood films have been flocking to Scotland since 1998, as you know, filming on location in places such as Edinburgh Castle, Eilean Donan Castle, Glasgow's George Square and Glencoe. Given today's events, I think there may be an SRK and university film location opportunity that we have to explore. Visit Scotland has produced a special online map, Bollywood Scotland, to encourage visitors to dance in the footsteps of their favourite Bollywood stars by highlighting dozens of Scottish backdrops and locations to some of their favourite films. So, now we're on to Bollywood stars. I'm delighted to be able to welcome Shah Rukh Khan to the university. I should say, I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Shah Rukh Khan. An hour or so ago, I was privileged to be part of an honorary degree ceremony. I can't finish that. I'm actually finding this quite disturbing now, but I'll continue. One more minute, please. One more minute. I was delighted to be part of an honorary degree ceremony where Dr. Shah Rukh Khan received his degree. Of course, he starred in many, many well-loved Bollywood films, and that's part of the reason why we were celebrating and acknowledging him today. But he's also been described by the Los Angeles Times as perhaps the world's biggest movie star, and has been named by Newsweek as one of the 50 most influential people in the world. I think it's really important to acknowledge that he's used this influence to outstanding effect. He's a deep commitment to improving child education and public health in India. He's adopted a dozen villages as part of the solar energy project Lighting a Billion Lives to provide them with electricity. He's worked to improve the living conditions and rights of underprivileged people across India. And exactly 2 years ago, he established the Mir Foundation, named after his father, which supports female victims of burns and acid attacks. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me enormous pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Shah Rukh Khan.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you. Okay. All right, how this works is that I have to give you a lecture. So I prepared some. It's very thick, but it's because the font is big. So I'll go on and on until you guys get bored. You can stop me halfway and ask questions or... Okay. First of all, it's an honor for me to receive this doctorate today. So thank you everyone who's involved with this. And humbled is a word often used by people in my profession. You know, you meet actors, they'll go, I'm very humbled, we all. I dislike the hypocritical, obsequious connotation of it in these contexts. So I'm not going to use it, but I will say that such occasions have a way of putting me right in my place, which is right there. So thank you everyone for putting me in my place. I do get invited to conferences and inaugurations now and then to speak. And when I receive the invite, I also receive my brief. It's usually about success and my tips on it. Not my toes. Those are covered by I will never show my toes clause in my contracts. They're very ugly. And it's my attempt at gender equality. My co-actresses have no cleavage clause, I have no toes clause. Now most people believe Bollywood stars aren't insightful about anything other than the fateful occurrences which made them stars in the first place. But I've had the odd divergence from being taken for stupid though. Recently I got an email from an International Association of Advertising and they said, dear Mr. Khan, the advertising community would like you to come and address them on globalization and disruptive marketing. And I spent the next 4 hours on Google trying to assimilate the disruptiveness of innovating a product to match its market. But it was one of those rare days when even Google can't help you. A day when you need to leave Google and ask for deliverance from God. But I have a film releasing soon, so I don't want to take extra favors from God before the film releases. So I chose business over knowledge. I did the next best thing. I sat on my IO Hawk. Have you guys seen that Segway thing? Yeah, so I went on my IO Hawk and told everybody, a gathering like yours, that there is nothing I can tell you that you already don't know. And people, when they're told they're smart, they like it. You're such an august gathering of people and blah, blah, blah. Instead, let me entertain you because you all deserve a break. And before the organizers could interject, I started thrusting my pelvic into their faces and broke out into the one and only intellectual thing I know how to do, the lungi dance. So I got away with it without being humbled. It always pays to be a better dancer than your advertisers. And what's more, they seem to have a good time. But that was a conference, and this is a doctorate from a prestigious university of Edinburgh. So I'm going to try to sound intelligent and insightful, especially for you today. One of the subjects on the list of 5 I was sent for my speech today was life lessons. So for whatever it is worth, here goes. Let me start at the very, very beginning. Whatever I've learned of life has been at the movies. Actually, the first few films that I did in my career and titles were given to them very nearly formulated whatever I know of life, and that's how I'm going to pass it on to you.